All right, welcome to my two viewers, one of which is probably a Fed, the other one is just probably a bot, but whatever. Anyway, welcome to the show. Wasn't here last week. Work was crazy, kind of. Last week was busy, and if I get paid for everything I did, I'll have a good week. And if they decide they're not going to fully pay me, then it'll be like a mediocre week. This week so far, because my week starts on Saturday, not great. And when I say not great, I mean really sucks. But it's slow for everybody. So, that's that. I spent my day. What happened yesterday? Sunday, I did one job. I'd make $60. And I did one job. And then my driving home, the check engine light comes on in my car. So I have like a little $50 scan tool that I had from years ago, and you plug it in, and it tells you what's wrong, tells you what the code is. And the code was that my catalytic converter wasn't working. And I had last June, less than a year ago, 10 months ago, I had my entire exhaust system replaced at a nationally known repair shop called Midas, right? Like everything from exhaust headers down to the tailpipe. I think it cost me $1,200. And then now the catalytic converter wasn't working anymore. And I'm like, I got to get the car inspected in 4 months. So I bring it to them, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, the guy tries to bullshit me. He really can't bullshit me. He says, listen, we're going to replace it under warranty. It's going to cost you the gasket plus half an hour's labor plus tax. I get out of there for $115 on top of the original $1,200 I fucking paid last year. But it'll get me through inspection, and New Jersey inspection is good for 2 years, so I don't have to think about it. But things are whatever. All the problems are all my problems are like manageable like that right now. So that's a pretty good thing. It's all work related stuff. It's all pretty normal. But Tyler, we got more viewers now. Tyler, tonight's stream down here, Exxon versus Elon versus Exxon, or vice versa. This is the most interesting thing that's going on right now. By the way, as of this show, Monday, the 11th of April, 2022, Bitcoin's at 39,500 or so by the time of the show. So Bitcoin's on sale, and I am not kidding you. Bitcoin is seriously fucking on sale. 2 weeks ago, I showed this, right? What did I show? Let's show weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, were you operating at the usual fucking boomer tech speed? So the good news is you don't have to. You're not in a dangerous position to miss something that's fast moving. The bad news, of course, is that this whole thing's running off my fucking cell phone. Sending requests, still not here. Oh, we're gonna wait. We're gonna be patient, and patience is gonna pay off, right? How about we do this again? Do this before the show. It comes out like literally in a second and a half. Do this once I click go live, and fuck if it doesn't want to work. And I think to myself, this has to be deliberate. Oh, here it is. It's not deliberate. It's just a glitch. It's an everyday glitch, James. Don't freak out. Don't lose your shit over some stand. You have crappy fucking internet. It's running off your phone. Don't get dramatic. Well, no more dramatic than I normally am. So where's the screen share? Oh wait, they're gonna. You know what? If I close that down, that'll save some resources. Maybe that'll make things run faster. It's all about. All of life is literally about managing resources, isn't it? When you think it through, it's all about husbanding your resources successfully to the end, whatever that end goal is. So this is what I showed you a couple of weeks ago. Exxon mining Bitcoin in North Dakota as part of its plan to slash emissions. So ExxonMobil, the largest energy company on the face of the earth, is now mining Bitcoin. Now, ExxonMobil was started in 1870. That's right. It's like 5 years after the Civil War ended, these guys were in the oil business. The Rockefeller family, which was in Ohio, like the Ohio-Pennsylvania border, they were actually greengrocers. They ran basically grocery stores. Around the oil wildcatters in Pennsylvania and Ohio, and they could see fortunes being made and lost all the time. And they figured out that drilling for oil and finding oil was not really a good strategy. But no matter who found the oil or who went bust, if the people who found the oil needed to be refined and made into useful products like kerosene for lamps or heating oil for those old oil burners, and they got into the refinery business, and they became Standard Oil, became the biggest, most gigantic, most evil oil corporation ever. And of course, they're part of they're part of the Federal Reserve. They're part of the Federal Reserve Bank. But the biggest energy company, and they're not just oil. They do a bunch of other stuff now, but they have ridiculous resources. Right? They were around in 1870. They were around in 1970, and I guarantee you their plan is to be around in 2070. Exxon is not fucking going anywhere. They have all the money to do anything they want, anywhere at any time. So the fact that they've gotten into Bitcoin mining is way, 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 way bigger than most people think. They're not joining into something that's like going down. You say, oh, but the Bitcoin price is down. It used to be 48,000. Now it's 39,000. And you would think about this, like Exxon's the biggest energy company in the world decides it wants to mine Bitcoin, and the price of Bitcoin goes down. Yeah, like that's normal. Every time there's a big news story, whether it's a nation state like El Salvador adopting Bitcoin or whatever, some positive piece of news, guess what? The price goes down. And it's like statistically impossible that the price would always fucking go down every time there's big news. So you got to understand this is all being manipulated, right? The bad part of that, of course, is that the world is still ruled by these sort of people, and they have mind-bending influence. However, the good part is it keeps the price of Bitcoin low, so you can buy more Bitcoin for your shitty Zog bucks, and you can get ahead of the curve. That's the good news, okay? So there's Exxon, and now let's talk about our buddy, my favorite fucking hero. Where is he? Where is he? Everyone's hero, the hero of the fucking moment. Fucking Twitter, full of chumps. Twitter full of fucking chumps. There are no people more naive than Bitcoin Twitter people, especially the political people. Right? Make that a teensy bit larger. That ought to do. That ought to do for you people with weak eyesight. Uh, I'm trying to think about you. I'm trying to help you out, trying to keep you involved and in the loop in the show. News article from 3 days ago. Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey ready solar-powered Bitcoin mine in Texas. So Elon Musk, is oftentimes referred to as the welfare billionaire. Every business that Elon Musk owns or runs is heavily subsidized by the government. Tesla is so subsidized by the government, it's unreal. SpaceX, obviously, same thing, all government contracts. So somebody put a gazillion solar panels down on the ground in Texas, and they're worthless. So, but they don't generate enough power to power a city or a factory or something consistently. But you know what? It is some electricity that's paid for by whoever paid for those solar panels. Now, Jack Dorsey did not buy those solar panels. Elon Musk did not buy those solar panels. The state of Texas did, or the U.S. federal government did, and they bought the solar panels from China, of course. And so somebody else subsidized the energy, and then Dorsey and Musk are just going to plug some ASICs or plug those new Intel Bitcoin mining chips into that solar farm, and they're basically going to get free Bitcoin. Okay, and this is not Dorsey nor Musk's first foray into Bitcoin. Remember that Elon Musk bought 1.5 billion, that's billion with the B, dollars worth of Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was around $30-ish thousand. So he's going in deeper. So you got Exxon going in, you got Elon Musk going in, and yet somehow, miraculously, amazingly, the price keeps going down, but it's not manipulation. However, like I said, the upside of this is that you get more Bitcoin for your Zog bucks. Okay, nothing has changed. In fact, everything's just accelerating. Right, everything I've been talking about for a couple of years. I don't know that hyperinflation, as per like Weimar, is really going to happen. I've been trying to read. Try to read enough. Try to read up on this. I don't know that the Weimar Republic is the correct model, but if you're paying attention to the news, this was from today. Our friend, I call her the rusty potato that's filled with evil and lies. It is Jen, the one and only Jen Psaki, soon to be MSNBC commentator, host of a show or whatever. I don't know what she's going to be. A direct quote. The White House warns of, quote, extraordinarily elevated inflation data. Is that kind of like hyperinflation? Extraordinarily elevated, right? This is from today, 11 April 2022. So, and she's wearing red with red hair. Like red is a bad sign in the financial markets. It's always like, people losing money. You're in the red. So, White House now saying, hey, watch out. There's like super inflation out there. And of course, who are they blaming it on? They're blaming it on Vladimir Putin. Right. And the war in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine, which is the propaganda is as shitty as like maybe it's ever been. But we just have way more technology to apply to showing how shitty it really is. So this one made the rounds, and it might be for you, might not be news to others. But the Ukrainians claimed that the Russians were bombarding this train station, and they showed the evidence of this train station with all these burned out cars, in front of it. However, if you look at the windows of the train station, they're not broken. So Russian tank shells, Russian artillery shells, mortar fire, machine gun fire, all over the place, destroying every vehicle in front of the building, and yet the building itself without a scratch, not one pane of broken glass, no bullets chipping the fucking brick outside. It's all just the shittiest fucking propaganda you've ever seen. Now, social media points this out, right? Twitter, there's a bunch of Twitter accounts that points this stuff out, and I'm just retweeting this stuff. I'm just like signal boosting, right? But it, like, all this stuff gets squashed, and I'm not trying to make myself out to be some wild fucking element that they have to hold down. But I just tweeted something that something about the 8 genders of the Talmud and blah 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 blah. It was a video I retweeted from someone else. It was a pain in the ass. I used to be able to download the video directly to my phone, which I wanted to do to put on Facebook, so I could show my nieces and stuff. My nieces are not red pilled, but they don't want the perverts around their kids. So I want to show them that, but you can't right click on the video. You can't find the URL of that specific tweet to download, to use like Twitter video downloader to pull that video off of Twitter and share it. Somehow you can't do that anymore. I tried from the Twitter app, can't do it. Tried from Chrome browser, can't do it. Whatever. And I'm fucking nobody. I'm like the nobody of fucking nobodies. But I can't do that, right? So, and then when I look back at the tweet, like 3 minutes later, well, first off, I got a notice as soon as I tweeted it from this Canadian chick who's like a red-haired Bitcoin pothead girl. And she's like, she liked the video. She clicked like, but I looked at my likes, didn't see that it notified me of the like. And then I looked 2 minutes later, the tweet got 5 likes, but Twitter did not inform me of any of them. You know what I mean? So shadow banning, fucking with you, nonstop, all this shit. I remember back in the days when I used to go on Jonathan Paul's channel. I think he just restarted it, but it's much more academic now than it used to be when I was on there. But you look in the chat, there'd be like 17 people in the chat, and then you open a separate window to see like the likes and dislikes of the stream, and there would be 37 dislikes for a stream that only had 17 participants. Like, how is that possible, right? So somebody's fucking around in the background, and they can make anything appear any way. That's why for me, if I look up, like literally, right, if I look here on my screen, you can't see it, but on my screen, it shows number of viewers, how long I've been going, blah, 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 blah. That number doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I don't know that number is real. I might have 1 viewer. I might have 6 viewers. I don't know how many viewers I have, right? And I've said before, in the past, you have to be willing to scream into the void. You have to be willing to keep going on sort of minimum feedback or no feedback. Virtual Doc, Purple Heart, welcome to the show, sir. When you show up in the chat, then I know you're here, right? So understand they work nonstop to reshape your thinking about what the world looks like, and they're particularly skillful or powerful at doing that online, right? They can make a lot of things appear popular or unpopular based on a number of different switches that they have, right? Elon Musk, right, is the new hero. He's the new Donald Trump. Everybody was like, Elon Musk, oh, he bought 9% of Twitter. He bought 9% of Twitter. And they're like, yeah, he's a Jew who's concerned about, he's really into free speech, right? He's like, before the official announcement that he bought it to Twitter, he's like, what's a good free speech platform? Everybody, let me know. And of course he gets a gazillion fucking people in answering him with engagement. and he just buys into Twitter. And then everyone's like, yeah, he's going to go in there and he's going to tell that street shitter that the CEO like to fucking, the Constitution and free speech and blah, 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 blah. Elon Musk, you ain't going to fuck with him. He's got electric cars, rocket ships, motherfucking Elon Musk, blah, 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 blah. And then Twitter puts out a fucking a press release. By the way, he's not sitting on the board. He has no fucking power. He's just sitting out there in fucking nowhere land. You know what I mean? Womp womp. Once again, waiting for your strong man to fucking rescue you. You're fucked. When I tell you you have to be an active participant in your own rescue, I'm not saying that just to fucking say. Sitting around and waiting for someone to pick you up and carry you to safety is child's thinking, and you don't want to. You just don't want to do that. That has a very low likelihood of success. Okay, thinking to yourself, all right, the situation's bad, and it's not probably going to get better. So how can I manage this? How can I make it less bad? How can I improve my position or the position of my family or whatever? That's much more useful rather than thinking, oh boy, I hope Donald Trump comes back, or Elon Musk is gonna blow these fucking Twitter fags out, these rainbow-haired, nose-ringed, transgender scumbags. He's gonna blow them the fuck out with the rocket power and put them in a Tesla garbage truck to what? It's not gonna happen. That's a bullshit hero coming over the fucking ridge. You know what I mean? The fucking cavalry coming to fucking save you. There's no cavalry coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to be an adult, and you have to look at what are your choices and options and start managing this and making your best choices and maximizing your options. Okay. And for me, I said this before, staying in a financial system that is controlled by Zog is a non-starter. I'm not doing it, right? Now that I've seen the fucking exit, and the exit is Bitcoin, now that I've seen the exit, that's all I fucking focus on, okay? For those people who think, well, I'm red-pilled, and I'm this and that, and I'm a nationalist, and I'm a blah, 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 blah. I don't know what you think you are, what you think is going to change when the entire economic system is controlled by Jews. I don't know what you think is going to fucking happen, but let me tell you, it ain't going to happen because money talks and bullshit walks, right? That's an old saying from, I won't say New York all the time, but it is not exclusive. It is not exclusive to New York. However, listen, they're throwing everything up against the wall. This was one of the things to kind of to talk about the evil rusty potato Jen Psaki. I like calling her the rusty potato. I hope that would catch on, but I don't know. I'm not clever enough to come up with good. I sometimes overthink this, but a rusty potato filled with evil and lies. That's not a bad description of Jen Psaki. You know what I mean? Because she has a distinctive look. She has quite the distinctive look. Okay, so this comes from New York Times, I believe. Is it the Times? I believe it is the Times. Yes, the New York Times. Believe it or not, this article was written by a Jew. I know. Steady. Hold on. Easy, everybody. Easy. A Jew writing for the New York Times. It says Ukraine is the first real world war. And to be honest, I agree with that. And you say, James, well, what do you mean? How do you agree with that? What about World War I? What about World War II? And what I'm going to tell you is that if you view history as the central bankers versus other power centers, right? Other entrenched power centers, monarchy, whatever, Western industrialism, the central bankers, right? The Rothschilds and their agents taking over the world, right? That march across continents, war after war, in place after place, right? That was just a war of consolidation, right? Now that they have effectively, that all central banks are controlled by the Rothschilds, right? Now that they effectively control the world, and they largely do. This war between the Jews in Russia and the Jews that control America is the first world war, the first one world war. We are one world underneath the Jews in their financial system. They control the politics, the technology, everything, the cultures, everything. They control. Do they really control it down to every little tiny detail? No, but their influence is enormous and it's everywhere. Incentive, money, the desire for a soft life full of pleasure is present in many, many human beings in many, many capacities. And so that this Ukraine kerfuffle benefits or actually slows down their agenda, and it only slows it down. It doesn't stop it at all. To them is a world war, okay? And so where's, let's see what else we got. People talk about based Europe. Where's based Europe? Here, this one. This is as deep in Europe as you can get, right? This one. Click. You fucking bastard. This does not make me happy. And everybody knows I'm like an irreligious or an atheist or whatever you want to call me. But I am not happy with this. Right? I am particularly unhappy to see this because I understand what's really going on behind it, right? Like I said, I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in God. However, Austrian bishop hangs banner of nude trans activist over the main altar at Lent. That's a real story. I don't particularly care for the Christian religion, all right? I view it very differently than most people view it. However, this level of disrespect, this level of degradation, I'm absolutely against. And if you look at that photograph, the interior of that church or cathedral, that's an extraordinary building. That's a building that was built with incredible fucking thought, not just engineering wise, but artistic wise, with an eye towards their theology. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. It's well made. It's finely crafted. It took years to fucking build with highly skilled guys. And for it to be defiled like that really, really, really makes me unhappy. And I say that as a person who is I am not a Christian. You understand? But that, in my mind, I'm thinking about when the communists took over in Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and they turned churches into pornographic movie theaters, right? That's immediately the first thing when I saw that news, I was like, oh, look, there it is, right? There's not tanks in the streets in Austria. They don't have tanks, Soviet tanks rolling around like they did in Hungary and the Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia back then. But it's the same thing. And I think it's not fucking good. This is not good. But they get a bishop, at least one, and they probably have more than one, that they influence to do what they want to do. This is really bad. This is not good. And you could always throw up some piece of outrage porn or this bit of outrage porn or that bit of outrage porn. But at some point you sort of kind of sit back and go, hey, wait a minute. There's tons of this. There's an endless amount of this. This isn't just somebody doing this for clicks. And sure, and with me, with a fucking 50 subscriber based YouTube channel, I'm not doing this for clicks. You know what I mean? This ain't being done for clicks with the 50 subscribers in the nature of the material I cover. There's a real problem here that you're not going to vote your way out of. You don't get to vote in the church. Like all of this is going to be ripped apart one way or another. And it's not all going to be bad, like, because things like this, things like what I just showed you, new trans fucking thing behind the altar in the fucking Austrian fucking church put up by a bishop. That's got to go. Like, that's whatever has to happen because the rot is super deep. Judas Flychai, based Persian Michelin guy. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chai. Welcome to the show from the beautiful west coast of the United States. Lovely California. So, yeah. All right. So, what was this one? Christ, I have like literally there's something like 37 fucking things I want to show people. I don't know if I'm going to get to all 37 of them, but let's go back to the point of money talks and bullshit walks, right? About I don't have the particular screen share. There's a different one, but like a week or 10 days ago, there was a fucking news article that a tanker full of Russian oil was turned back halfway, like as soon as it got to an American port, it was turned away, which is like the stupidest fucking lie. When a tanker full of oil is, I don't know how many barrels of oil, and a barrel of oil is like 35 gallons. Somebody paid for that. Like, you don't just fucking turn that away from port. Like, no, somebody paid for 1 million fucking barrels of fucking oil. You ain't turning that ship around. That shit was paid for before the ship was loaded and set sail. So that's big money, people. You're not turning that boat around. But these bullshit propaganda stories pop up in the media everywhere, and like, yeah, we're really punishing them Ruskies by turning back their ships full of oil. Well, here's the reality. In the last, 3 to 4 weeks, U.S. imports of Russian oil, which we don't need at all, increased by 43%. That Europe and America, the Jews that run these two continents, have decided to shut down all of the energy production, the nuclear production, the natural gas in America, the oil in America, the natural gas in Europe, that this has been shut down not just for 1 or 2 years, but for decades. This is maybe the most underreported thing on the far right, but the far right concerns itself with bullshit ideology and not practical solutions to fucking things, which is a big reason why you always fucking lose. Why you are inherently losers, because you talk about things that nobody fucking gives a shit about. And when you talk about shit that nobody gives a shit about, no one listens to you. It's not a massive conspiracy. It's that you suck at figuring out what's important. And what the fuck is with my hair? That's your inability. But you don't like being told you suck because, I don't know, whatever. The truth hurts, right? The truth always hurts. The truth always hurts. Truth always hurts. This was I've seen before, but I like this one particularly. And you talk about the last sort of gasps of the last desperate attempts at independence, at fighting back. And this was one of them. This was from England, from way back in the days. And I don't know how many people know. I'm a little bit of an Anglophile, and I was for quite some time. Always something of an Anglophile. Always admired the English. I know. With the fucking Elgin marbles, yeah, I know. But still, the English did some cool shit. So, screenshot of a tweet, and this is from an actor. Talks about a debate that was had in Parliament in 1720. In the year 1720, before the Rothschilds moved to London and made their own private city within the city, During a 1720 financial crisis, British Parliament debated a resolution for bankers to be sewn into sacks with snakes and dumped into the Thames. Uh, that's the problem. You're too busy debating it. If Parliament had been filled with, like everyday Englishmen, like whatever West End lorry drivers and stuff, it just would have been done. They wouldn't have had an intellectual debate about it. And what I cannot stand about intellectual debate is that it is an enormous waste of time and has been since forever. Where is this? Was one I just saw this today. I saw this on Normie book, Facebook. I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna fuck up the pronunciation. I don't care if I fuck up the pronunciation. You know why? Because we ain't here for clicks. We're not here for clicks. We're here for the red pills, for the orange pills. Really, the orange pills. The father of the Epicurean school of philosophy, right? Epictetus wrote, "Don't say that you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better, to be a more discriminating and reflective person. They are very helpful, but it would be a bad mistake to suppose that one has made progress simply by having internalized their contents." This is Epictetus, The Art of Living, the father of the Epicurean school of philosophy. So that's like 350 BC, this credentialist bullshit. This is, look, I went to this school, I read this book, I'm smarter than you, right? This is how far back it goes. It goes deep, 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 deep into the pre-Christian era. And it's just as alive today as it was then, right? I went to Harvard, I went to Yale, I have a master's, you are a welder, this sort of thing, right? And the observation that he makes, that you've learned something useful and you are a more discriminating and more reflective or smarter person, this observation is as true today as it was when he made it back in probably like 350 BC. I'm not particularly anti-intellectual. I'm not really. I've read a lot of books. I'm currently reading Xenophon's Memorabilia, and I'm like 2/3 of the way through it, which is a defense of Socrates and blah 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 blah. And Xenophon actually knew Socrates, so I'm trying to read the original source material. I can't read it in Greek or in ancient Greek, but I can read it in English, and then I'm trying to get as close to the original source material to understand it more clearly. So, but the idea that I went to this school, you see this? This is a very expensive certificate. I got this from the school of X, Y, and Z. And you didn't go to that school, so your opinion doesn't fucking count. This shit goes that far back. It goes back hundreds of years before Christianity. So this fucking punk ass fucking soy boy thing goes back millennia, right? This is you could always argue that there's whatever. It's Parmenides versus Heraclitus. It's Aristotle versus fucking Plato. Around and round and round again today. Like, what is practical versus what is theoretical? All right. And does your theory even fucking match reality? And my answer is, if the theory you're following, right? If the theory that you're in love with, the theory that guides your thoughts, your fucking decisions is not based on practical realities, you're going to be in trouble. Maybe not today, but soon. Like fucking soon. And I want to warn people against that. I just want to warn people against that. Here's an interesting insight from a friend of ours, in this thing of ours, in the whatever, in the Bitcoin mafia, right? He's not really, well, sort of, kind of, not really, This is from Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. Looking out of my screen, is it showing up on the regular on everybody's screen? Not yet. Okay. This is from 19th of March, so a couple weeks back. And he's talking about the United States. He says the most powerful country in the world is falling so fast that it makes you rethink what are the real reasons. Something so big and powerful can't be destroyed so quickly unless the enemy comes from within. And then he quotes a tweet from Bloomberg Opinion that inflation stings most if you earn less than $300,000, right? That's from last month. So you get the president of El Salvador saying America is being destroyed from within. Fun facts about the president of El Salvador. He's a practicing Christian. However, I think his father was a Muslim and his mother was a Jew, or vice versa. His father was a Jew and his mother was a Muslim. So genetically, he is he's genetically a Semite, but he has chosen as his religion to practice Catholicism. Roman, obviously, South America, Roman Catholicism. But you want to talk about a guy who's fucking pointing to the nose, right? You want to who's fucking red pilled, right? And you wonder why El Salvador. So you see negative El Salvador stories all over the place. Like El Salvador is full of killers and whatever. But they just, by the way, they just arrested 6,000 gang members. The government did a huge sweep. They're El Salvador's a nightmare. Don't get me wrong. A couple of years back, before this guy took power, El Salvador had like 6,000 murders a year. Now, it's El Salvador, so I don't know how many hospitals. Like they don't have 911, they don't have hospitals, they have a bunch of different things, but a lot of people getting shot, right? I don't know what the hit rate is. They don't have the stats for it, but 6,000 people dying is a lot of people dying. This guy, Bukele, knocked that 6,000 murders a year down to about 1,500 murders a year, which may still sound like a huge number, and it is a huge number, but that's a gigantic decrease. He knocked it down by 75%. So the guy is doing something right. He's moving things. He's moving the needle in the right direction. That El Salvador was the first nation to adopt Bitcoin as a legal currency alongside the US dollar, co-equal to the US dollar. And that he tweets something like what I just showed you, says this guy kind of knows what's up. You know what I mean? Yeah, El Salvador is like the fucking hind tit of Mexico or whatever. You could say whatever you want to say, but this guy ain't stupid. This guy is not stupid. You know what I mean? He knows what he's saying. And he's a fucking pretty ballsy. Not for nothing, he's a pretty ballsy guy. I'm not saying he's perfect, because no one is. Not even me. Not, believe it or not, not even me. But the guy is red pilled on a lot of fucking things. On a lot of things. So let's talk about what's hidden and what's known, right? So here's something to tweet from a while ago. This is to go deeper into the Bitcoin lore, to go deeper into the the ins and outs of Bitcoin, the esoterics of Bitcoin, to understand how Bitcoin really was designed to destroy central banking. I don't think, I've said that, and people go, well, what do you really mean by that? Here's a great example from account Aaron Wise, at Aaron, or whatever, and you can see it on the screen. Bitcoin lore, the difficulty adjustment. That is to say, the difficulty in mathematical equations, how hard it is to solve the math problem necessary to get Bitcoin. The difficulty adjustment occurs every 2016 blocks. What's a block? A block is 10 minutes of time. So every block of time is 10 minutes. Every 2016 blocks, there's a difficulty adjustment. You need more computing power, more calculator power to get Bitcoin, right? To mine Bitcoin. That's a palindrome of Executive Order 6102, which was issued by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, which forced Americans to sell their gold to the Federal Reserve under the threat of 10 years imprisonment. So when I've said in the past that Bitcoin was designed to destroy the central banks, it really was by very smart people who built a lot of clever things into this. They designed things in a way that the deeper you go down the rabbit hole, the more you see how brilliant it is, and how ultimately it has to win. Because if it doesn't win, all of fucking humanity is fucked. We have to win, right? And for all the people that said $69,000 Bitcoin, that's too fucking expensive. Oh, that's crazy. I'm not spending that. Well, Bitcoin's currently $39,000. Those same people are going, well, it's failing. See, the price is going down, so I'm not going to buy that. So listen, you're going to hang on to your Zog bucks. Hang on to your fucking Zog bucks. But I assure you that the price is being manipulated, and you can take advantage of that if you can effectively see through their bullshit. But to be honest, most of you can't. You have one, maybe two insights, and then the rest, you're fucking lost. You can't tell you can't tell up from fucking down most of the time. Most people, and that's an enormous problem. To be able to think clearly is very, very hard. Where's the okay, so let's talk about what's this? Let's go with this. I thought was pretty funny because Jonathan Pohl, welcome to the show. Congratulations on the publication of your book. Public accolades by the mayor of your town. Right up in the local paper. I think you got some people to review your book. So get it out there on, like Twitter, find a bunch of right-wing accounts and tell them you wrote a book about the Gulag system and who did what to whom. And, you could sell some books. You have to. I realize you're not a great marketer, but networking, finding like-minded individuals is not the same as marketing. You know what I mean? So find people with influence, not me, but larger accounts that are sort of kind of red-pilled or sort of kind of anti-communist, and say, hey, you know what? I wrote this book. If their DMs are open, I wrote this book, and here it is, and I read Russian, and I went to the original source documents and blah 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 blah. So, and get these guys to push. Will it help? I don't know. It'll help a little bit, but certainly I realize you're very busy with all your job interviews, but more job interviews now that you're unemployed after being than you were coming back from a foreign land. This to me was one of the funniest fucking anti-Bitcoin things I've seen in a long ass fucking time. Because for me, Greenpeace, the last time I remember Greenpeace was like the fucking Clinton administration, which was like the mid fucking 1990s. They used to have this boat, like it was a sailboat, and they used to, I don't know how they figured out where like military ships were, but they would go out and interfere with mostly like Japanese whaling ships, but every now and then they'd fuck with like a European military ships. And they had this boat that they called the Rainbow Warrior. I don't know that it was per se rainbow like they mean today, but they called it the Rainbow Warrior, and it was a sailing boat. And they would go out and they would harass European navies when they were doing like naval exercises and war exercises, and they docked it somewhere, and the fucking French sent their Secret Service guys or their whatever their version of Navy SEALs were to go in and plant underwater mines on the hull of the boat, and they blew up the boat like in harbor, you know, and they sank it. And this was the last time Greenpeace was fucking relevant. Well, this is how desperate the central bankers are, is that they have to dig through all these fucking phony fucking moralistic fucking organizations that used to mean something 30 or fucking 40 years ago. Greenpeace and crypto billionaires lobby to change Bitcoin's code. Well, good for fucking congratulations. You can change Bitcoin's code anytime you want. Do you understand? Bitcoin is open source. Anybody can write Bitcoin code. Do you understand? Listen to me. You can rewrite Bitcoin's code tomorrow. However, everyone has to agree with it. I've talked about the concept of consensus governance, the idea that a law or a regulation or something does not pass unless everyone agrees to it. Well, that's how Bitcoin works, right? And if there were to be a system of political governance based on Bitcoin, it would mirror the Bitcoin protocol. So you could be super rich. You can pay somebody to rewrite the fucking code. But if nobody agrees with you, nothing happens. You understand? If you don't get 100% agreement from the miners, people like myself who hold Bitcoin, the node operators, all the other fucking people who write code, the fucking exchanges who sell Bitcoin, if you don't get 100% agreement, you wasted your fucking time and your money, which I hope to fucking God they waste all the time and money they can fucking possibly waste on this, because this shit ain't never going to happen. No one is going to listen to Greenpeace or whoever the fuck is pushing Greenpeace. This is fucking hilarious. No one buys this, not for 2 fucking seconds. And we're not the sort of people that can be bullied. And I know what you said is like, James, you're pugnacious, blah, 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 blah. But other people are different. Listen to me. Bitcoiners understand what their own self-interest is, okay? And that is first and foremost in their minds, okay? And you're trying to tell them that you are the arbiter of some fucking of some fucking moral principle, right? And that they have to listen to you. Let me tell you, they're not going with that, right? Where's the here we go. Here's the response to this is a pretty typical Bitcoiner's response to what I just showed you. Pretty fucking typical, right? We love our memes. Don't we love our memes? We call it, we do a little memeing, people. We call it, we do a little memeing. All right. So there it is. There's the Wojak crying, tears. No, you know, first off, at the top, fuck Greenpeace, right? And then a Wojak with the Greenpeace logo on his head. Change the code, and then there's the Leonardo DiCaprio laser eyes from what the fuck was that from? I think from Gangs of New York or something like that. I don't know what movie. Like, you know what? Cry harder, bitch. That is our response to fucking Greenpeace. Fuck you and the dolphin you rode in on. Do you understand? You fucking tree hugging, homosexual, soy chugging losers. We are not changing fuck all for you. Right? And by the way, Jonathan Pohl in the chat, Vive la France. Yes, that was probably the last independent act of France before they became completely cucked, to Africa, and the let Africans replace Europeans movement. A final flourish before it all goes down. So the big dramatic action that you think is going to save the fucking day really, oftentimes, well, these days it heralds the end because, like I said, money talks and bullshit walks. You know what I mean? And the people with the money choose who gets to be in power everywhere, in government, in the churches, everywhere, in the movies, in the publishing industry, in academia, everywhere. Money talks and bullshit walks. And as long as you're playing with their money, you're losing. You're going to lose. And you may say, well, listen, the Bitcoin, we don't know, it's going to work, it's not going to work. What is your choice? What is your alternative? Like, hope that the Jews come to their senses, that they fall to their knees and come to Jesus? Like, do you really think that's going to happen? It hasn't happened in the last 2,000 years. What makes you think it's going to happen now? Right? There's no trend of Jews falling to the knees and going, oh my God, we're acting the completely wrong way. We have to change our ways. Let's stop doing this. They're not going to do that. So the expectation that the Jews are going to fall to their knees and come to Jesus is, no, that's not a wise, that's not particularly a smart way to view the world. But you're going to do what you're going to do, right? So, oh, by the way, recently, this is a big Bitcoin thing. This is Bitcoin Miami, which just went off this week. I don't know if it's still going on, if it ended. Part of this, when you look at it, I got to tell you, not for nothing, you look at this image, it looks crazy fucking cool. It's crazy cool. It's super sexy. I like it. When I saw it, I was like, fuck. I like this. I like this thing. However, Bitcoin Miami is really a conference of shitcoiners and scammers and apparently hot Asian women who are looking to fucking steal your Bitcoin and your vital essences. But that is the bull outside of the conference center. And you ain't going to tell me that shit don't look fucking cool. That fucking statue looks cool as fuck. 21st century, sleek, like high-tech, aggressive. I fucking love that look. But that's the bull from the front. Unfortunately, you're not actually looking at a bull. This is the sad reality, because Miami is a city surely run by the tribe. This is the reality. This is the harsh reality. Yes, that's right. You're seeing it. The Bitcoin bull has no balls. It's not a bull, it's a steer. Apparently, when you cut the testicles off a bull, I guess you do it when it's a baby bull, because it's probably a lot easier when it's a baby than when it's fully grown, but it becomes a steer. So it's got horns, but you know what? It literally has no balls. And that's Bitcoin Miami. Like I said, it's shit corners, it's scammers, it's all kinds of fucking social media influencers, people taking phony pictures on fake private jet backgrounds and stuff, like really fake and gay, lame ass shit. And that's these Bitcoin conferences. You should not be going to them. You should not want to be going to them. You know what I mean? Every year it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And this year was spectacularly bad. I'm not going to show. I'm going to show one more Bitcoin Miami thing here. There's a bunch of stuff that where is it? No, not that one. Not that one. No, that one. Come on, show me, bro. Here, this was. This is the spirit, really, of Bitcoin. I don't know where this guy got these things, but the difference between The people who set the stuff up on the state level, on the city level, on the government level, and realize is this photo, right? This is the photo that shows you what's really going on with Bitcoiners. There it is. Some guy's holding up two orange balls with I don't know, orange plastic balls with the Bitcoin logo on them. What the fuck is, like, I don't even know where you get those things, but they added balls to the Bitcoin ball. That's the difference between them and us, right? So, you know, that this conference center, this Miami Bitcoin thing is fake and gay, is as fake and gay as it can get. That's true. The real deal people, the plebs, the ones who pushed Bitcoin from $0 to $1 trillion, and I realize we're under $1 trillion right now. I don't know. We might be like 700 million or something like that. Whatever, $39,500 Bitcoin is. I don't know what the market cap is. But Elon Musk does not jump into things because there's no money in it, right? And ExxonMobil does not decide to do something on a fucking whim, right? This is Elon Musk is like apex level fucking grifter, right? He extracts money from governments, from taxpayers to do shit that they could do themselves, right? He's the welfare billionaire. He's mining Bitcoin, okay? After he's already bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. They say, but the Bitcoin price is going down. And again, I'm telling you, this is manipulation. Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, and ExxonMobil don't get on a sinking ship. They don't get on a sinking ship. I've said before, I said 6 months ago, a year ago, they're going to fuck with your head in every way they can fuck with your head. This is shit. Stay away from it. Go, like it's not for you, blah, 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 blah. It's only for corporations. Whatever they can do to make you not buy Bitcoin, not custody your own Bitcoin, and go off into some fucking, with the stock market or some shit coin or whatever. Remember Elon Musk, right? Right before he did Saturday Night Live a year ago, he was talking about Dogecoin. Oh, it's a meme coin, blah, 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 blah. He fucking told, I don't know how many thousands of people to buy Dogecoin when it was 75 cents. Then he did Saturday Night Live on Saturday, and by fucking on Saturday when he did fucking Saturday Night Live, that whatever, a couple of years ago, Dogecoin was 75 cents. By Monday it was 15 cents, and it hasn't gone higher since. He fucking rug pulled how many people? How many thousands or tens of thousands of people thought, oh yeah, Elon Musk, Mr. fucking let's go to Mars, Mr. Environment, Mr. fucking the future. I want to invest with him. I want to take my amount of whatever you have, dollars, rupiah, fucking pesos. Yeah, I'm going to go with him. But you got fucking rugged. And then he laughed about it. He's not for you. He's not your fucking friend. You don't get to be whatever. He's the 3rd, 5th, 10th richest fucking guy on the planet. You don't get there by being a fucking good guy to others. That's not how shit works. You get there by using deception to gain fucking advantage over others. That's how he got where he is, right? He deceives government officials and the tons of other people into giving him fucking millions and tens and hundreds of millions of fucking and billions of fucking tax dollars earned by other people. This fucking shit you see on social media, his girlfriend said she left him because he eats 8 scoops of peanut butter a day and lives in a small house. Do you see how fat that motherfucker is? Have you fucking seen a picture of fucking Elon Musk lately? He's as fat as fucking Bill fucking Gates. He doesn't live on 8 scoops of fucking peanut butter a day and live in a tiny house. You fucking believe that you're a chump. Look at what they do, not what they say. Why the fuck would Elon Musk, after purchasing $1.5 billion of Bitcoin, go into a solar-powered Bitcoin fucking mining thing? If Bitcoin was going down, if it had no future. Right now, the price is lower than it was, which means, and I said this earlier in the show, I'll say it again, Bitcoin is on fucking sale. If you're smart, you buy. You know what? If next week it goes down lower, you fucking buy. By the way, best thing that happened to me this week, I got finally, I got the Gemini credit card. The exchange I fucking use is Gemini. They have a MasterCard. They issued me a MasterCard. I don't actually have the physical card yet, but I used it already 2 times online. That you spend fiat and you get Bitcoin rewards. So I switched over my cell phone to that card every month. Bing, bing, bing. Bitcoin rewards automatically into my fucking Bitcoin account. And bigger, obviously much bigger than that, my fucking electronic toll account, which is like $600 to $700 a month, recurring automatically. So I get 1% on every fucking thing I use the credit card for, and like 1% for everything, 2% for groceries, 3% for dining out. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what can I use this credit card? I don't have the credit card yet. I'm just have to buy shit online. So listen to me, this is not going away. MasterCard doesn't issue fucking credit cards with Bitcoin rewards. Elon Musk doesn't fucking mine this shit with solar power in Texas. And Exxon Mobil doesn't do this for a fucking loser. It isn't something that's going down. Now, they will convince you of that, and it's easy to convince you of that because you're fucking soft-minded. But they don't get involved in fucking losers. That's not what they do. That is not what they do. I suggest to you, and I'm going to say this again and again and again, take your Zog bucks and trade them for fucking Bitcoin. Right now, you can get like 2,500 Satoshis for 1 Bitcoin. That's the smartest move you could ever make. Even if you don't give a fuck, even if you want to live in a fucking, in a teepee in the fucking desert, I don't give a fuck, right? But you may want to fucking support some cause in the future. Stack sats and fucking donate them. Whatever. You might have kids, you might have grandkids. But if you think, no, James, you're fucking wrong. The Jews are really good. They're going to fall to their knees. They're going to come to Christ. And they're going to stop doing usury and they're going to stop doing all this stuff. Whatever, you're a chump. You're an idiot and you're a retard. And there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to help you. And you should go subscribe to somebody else's channel. I'm telling you, get the fuck out of their system. Opt out. Right? This is the where is it? Come on. This one. That the White House is warning of extraordinary inflation. Extraordinary inflation, which is going to hurt anyone who earns less than $300,000, which I'm going to guess is most of my audience. If anyone in my audience earns more than $300,000, yeah, you probably shouldn't be here. Okay? They're burning this shit to the fucking ground, and you don't want to be inside when it happens. So I point to the exit every week that I can, and you pay attention or you sit on your ass. I can't motivate you. You have to motivate yourself. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm going 1 hour, 14 minutes. I did, most of the screen shares I wanted to do. So that's that. Sorry I missed last week, but like I said, work interfered and a bunch of other stuff happened. Fingers crossed. Things go well this coming week, and then I'll see you again next Monday. But till then, before you leave, smash up the like button because I like to see that kind of stuff. I'll talk to you guys next week.